Good evening, ladies, gentlefers, and my lovely NBs. We are here live at San Jose at Rabbit Valley. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Desmond Watterson. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm absolutely honored and privileged to be in the booth with you tonight. Um, and I hope this is setting out to be a great game. Hawaii is this is a must win for Hawaii. If they lose this, they're out of the playoffs. And San Jose and they're fighting up against San Jose, who is trying to clinch a division. Um, for for the first time in perhaps a no, they were in last year. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they've
they
been
were
in
in
the
last year.
playoffs. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were in the playoffs last year. But the thing that's going to be very interesting is that you brought up is the fact that San Jose and Hawaii. This is pretty much a playoff atmosphere type game, especially for the Kahunas. As you said, they are going to go all out. And both of these teams used to be rivals, but of course,
Yes.
with the Western Division shakeup, they're not playing as often anymore. But
Hmm.
I'm sure that the bitterness is still there between these two teams.
Of course. Um, yeah, of course. I've been in I've been in interviews with both of their coaches, and they both have some choice words for each other that I've heard in the past, at least. And I'm assuming that animosity still lasted, but I can't wait for this game. This is pitching up to be a hot one.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting as we see a lot of the Hawaii Kahunas. They're still kind of pretty much losing a lot of their luster so far this season. It hasn't really come up to par as they would like, especially considering that majority of their old core is still there in the starting lineup. When we talk about JCK, Scooney
Yes.
Barrett, and
Yes.
Zach Tate, those have been like long time players for the Kahunas. And it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to fare up because
Mhm.
they have been in this situation before in a playoff atmosphere. But since they are kind of in the later parts of their career, it's going to be interesting how they're going to be able to adapt to this at this stage.
Yeah,
Um,
and perhaps they might perhaps even be losing their spark. Um, I'm not jinxing anything, but I think they might. Some of them might be losing their spark. Zach Tate's been playing forever. Scooney Barrett's been playing forever. JCK has been those three especially have been staples of this for years, almost a decade, and they've been so with that they still have a what I would call an old hat team, and they're up against the new hat Thrust. Who knows? They might have to pull up a miracle to stay in this year.
well,
Um,
it's going to certainly be an interesting matchup, especially for the front court, as Scooning and Zach will go up against Damian Myers and Adam Conte, both players, awfully starting off their career. And they've done a really,
mhm.
really good job, especially for Damian Myers after having that big payday.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he that both of those guys, and I mean they've got the rather controversial and problematic Adam Tavela in their small forward position, but people are just mad at him because he walks what he talks, and I'm not personally. I have no ill will towards the guy. In fact, I quite like the guy. He walks the walk he talks, and I think people get worked up about that. But he is a beast on the court. So is Damian Myers. So is Adam Cote. Um, so is Na and Tolsino. Their entire front line is insanely powerful. Has been this year, and they're possible they could clinch this division pretty soundly if they win out against the Kahunas today. But if the and but the I don't think the Kahunas are not going to make that easy, of course, because they have to win out basically to stay in the playoffs, and this is gonna be a big fight atmosphere, and who knows, this could get ugly.
Yeah, it really all depends because these two teams are storied rivals for a reason.
Hmm.
And of course, as I say that, both teams are getting ready to set up right now.
Of course. And the Thrust win the tip-off.
I believe that was the Kahuna's the one to tip off for that one.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, we got a nice dunk there
Right,
from Take,
immediately in for a dunk. Yeah, immediately in for a dunk. Yeah, these guys are. You are with that dunk. They're starting off hot. You don't start a game off. Oh, with a steal to Doyle, to JCK, who knocks it in for 4. Still unanswered points from the Thrust.
Yeah, not a great start here for the Thrust at home.
It's not what you want at home, as Tavela is behind the 3-pointer.
Yeah, the Thrust need to find some kind of answer as we get to see.
You got a Tolsino for 3, misses, and gets rebounded by the Kahunas. Sawyer shoots for 3, does not make it. Rebounded by Ricard to Tavela.
Yeah, right now.
Almost stolen. Back to Gekar. To Tolsino behind the 3. Into Kote, who's in his hot zone here, and he makes it. Finally some answer. There's still there's still a score back, but
yeah, the Thrust finally being able to get on the board with that possession. And after that slow start, we'll see if they can do something on defense to possibly tie this game right back up. What was that shot? To Tavela, who's running it down the court to Kote, and gets blocked. Scooney to Sawyer. Sawyer hanging out here behind the 3. Driving in. Nice layup. Still leading us to still a 4-point lead. McMillan driving it. Hawaii's doing a great job offensively, continuing trying to put the pressure on the Thrust. It really kind of shows that even though they haven't been the best team so far in this season, this rivalry will pretty much bring a spark to anybody.
Yeah, this rivalry will heat up any player. As Kote makes it into make it a 2-point game again. Over to Tate, and a foul on Tate by Gakkar.
That was on Gakkar, so Tate will go on the line for 2.
Tate will go on the... Yeah, I was saying Tate got fouled on by Gakkar, yeah. And again, if I say anybody's names wrong, I'm sorry.
I mean, it happens
to the
best of us.
Once again, a 4-point game.
So far, Hawaii.
If the Thrust want a chance, steal! If the Thrust want a chance to win this one, they can't let themselves get stolen on like that. As we are now
for sure. Hawaii is really taking advantage of those early mistakes going on in this game. The Thrust has to find a way to clean things up if they want to go ahead and catch up, being down by 6, 10-4.
Yeah, you can't have those little mistakes in the beginning of the game. Those little mistakes will turn into big problems. Seems like they're starting to clean it up. Back down to a 4-point deficit for the Thrust at home.
Yeah, McMillan almost fumbling the ball there in the paint, but was able to collect it and get that finish.
Driving. Oh, he doesn't make it. Doyle back again and finally gets it.
Yeah, Hawaii really putting a lot of pressure in the paint so far. Really excellent time of really taking advantage of the size advantage that they have in this game.
Yes. Rebounded by JCK, driving it over to Doyle. Shoots inside the 3 and makes it. Now this is an 8-point game. This is getting ugly.
Yeah, Hawaii really utilizing their speed in that possession. Really good to do for that transition basket.
Yes. Hawaii might be one of the with the 3 by the Thrust, the first 3 of the game, I'm pretty sure, making this a 5-point. It's actually a 5-point game. Tate passing it off to Doyle. He's driving in. There is a foul on Gakkar.
Yep, another foul there. So Hawaii really taking advantage of trying to overwhelm the Thrust in the paint, and the Thrust having no choice but to foul. And Hawaii just really doing everything they can to make sure that they know that this is a must-win situation, which is not surprising after the first basket is made.
Yep. Noel making both under 7 point, but cementing a 7-point lead for the Kahunas. Oh. Dufresne now on the court. Over to Torcino behind the three. He's got to shoot here, and he makes it.
Yeah, that's probably
a 4-point game.
Yeah, that's probably the quickest way to go ahead and get it within a reasonable deficit is those 3 balls, and they're finally coming down there for San Jose.
Yep. On to Barrett. And Barrett's height advantage. Oh, on to Tate, to JCK, to Sawyer. Nice passing there. Up, almost a shot clock violation there. You got to be careful there. As Tavela's now driving. Over to McMillan for 3, sinks it. 1-point game now. They're finally, Thrust is coming back. Thrust is turning up the heat, correcting those early mistakes, not letting them turn into big problems. And with a dunk, back to a 3-point game. It's almost like I spoke too soon or something.
Oh no, I think that was just the right amount of time because the 3 balls are finally coming down for the Thrust, and that is a quick way to go and get momentum on your side.
Oh.
But we do get a blocking foul on Sawyer. So San Jose will go on the line to cut the deficit down to 1 possibly if they make these next 2 free throws.
Mm-hmm. Looks like there were no free throws.
Oh, sorry. I guess that was I guess they didn't really count that for being the basket, but let's have an opportunity to still get something out of it. But
there we go. There we go. Yep. Now it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, they do cut the deficit down to 1 still.
Tate making it back a 3-point game.
Yeah, I think
the one thing that Hawaii's been doing really well, and I think they've been doing well kind of this whole season, is the answering back to points. Even if they haven't been doing that greatly hot, that scorching hot this season, they're still good at answering baskets, reseeding those baskets, and that's what's good. You got to keep that pressure on, especially when you're away and it's a playoff clinch situation. Especially when it's a playoff clinch situation like this, you have to win. If you have to win out to make it to the dance, you will win out through any means necessary sometimes, and that's just how it is. And so they're going to be playing hot tonight. Oh, as a rebound from Tate to Sawyer. Tate's on a bit of a hot streak right now. Sawyer's driving. Oh! And there's a foul on Tocino.
Right now the Thrusts are just struggling to try and contain Hawaii from getting into the paint. And as you said, like, I would say one of the biggest strengths for the Kahunas has always been their ability to get the baskets necessary within the paint, more specifically. Because, I mean, they have pretty much considered one of the best front courts in the league in Scooty Barrett and Zach Tate. And they've always able to get respect, but unfortunately that first shot was missed. But they still have a chance to cut it to 1 possession, as we see a majority of the second unit for both sides get a chance to play.
Yes. Major substitutions here as we go in. Myers over to Nah. Nah's finally in. After having been on the bench for the first few minutes of this game. On to Dufresne. Driving. 3, 2. Gotta take that shot off. There you go. That was almost a violation right there. You gotta make it off quicker. Even if you know it's gonna get blocked, you gotta get that ball out of your hands.
Well, you gotta give credit to Hawaii by doing some really good defense on that possession. Really helping draining that clock.
drain the clock, keep the pressure on.
Ooh.
Let's do for this. I admit that's a bold move by Hawaii to put that guy to defend Dufresne. That was a risky maneuver.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
at
got to
least it
rely on
paid
those
off.
switches. You do have to rely on those switches, but some good defense there for Hawaii.
Look at
And
this
we get a
steal.
turnover there.
Steal. Turnover. Got it.
And the Thrusts are going to have to take advantage of those situations. Being able to rely on those turnovers to help keep the Kahunas contained and keep them honest.
Yeah, and well, at that point, never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. I mean, that's what they did. They took advantage of a mistake and they got them 2 points on the board. Still a 4-point lead for the Kahunas away. That it's always sucks when you have a 4-point deficit on your home turf. But,
Yeah, well, that's the
Hawaii
name of the game.
keeps making them drain the clock. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that was fine. That's the name of the game, really, is because the fact that you need to continue trying to contain. If a team has a run, you better be on a run as well. The league is a game of runs.
Oh, the Thrust taking advantage of that pressure. Just learning from their enemy there, they were trying to make the Kahunas run down their clock. As it passes off to Na. Over to Parkers. Drives in. Does not make it. On to Sawyer. So staying behind the 3. Oh, he's in the... Up. That was a reach-in foul on Dufresne. As we bring out Sawyer and Tate for Rollinghouse and Kealoha.
Yeah, Beulah Rollinghouse, a long-time player in the FBA, has been pretty much a journey for her. Yep. She has been a quality player for a majority of teams, and it's no surprise that the Hawaii is going to be trying to rely on her to help facilitate the ball a little bit more. And we got a charging foul there on Waddy, so that'll be a turnover there, and it will be Thrust ball.
Yep. Thrust ball. Wyatt to Na. Over to Parkers. He's gonna try to drive into the paint. Try again. Get stolen. That was a rough. That looked rough.
That was good defense there by Namkaki, being able to get the block and the eventual turnover. So now Hawaii can extend this lead.
Namkaki with the ball now on to Waki, who gets fouled on him, I think. Yeah, that was a shooting foul.
And that will be
Waddy's 2 points. Or Waddy's points, yep.
Yep, and he will have a chance for the old school 3-point play, and he will get it done there.
Yep.
So Hawaii's already on the brink of possibly breaking double digits. The Thrusts have been really struggling so far at home.
Yeah. Hawaii does have bonus right now. I've noticed. Yeah, we've got 11 rebounds for the Kahunas and only 4 for the Thrust.
Yeah, we get another easy lay-in. I believe that was Scooney for that play. But
on the Huggard behind the 3 with 10 seconds left in the into Myers. 5 seconds to shoot. 3, 2. Nah, shooting it off. Makes it. 4-2. Ref said that she was behind the line. I'm pretty sure she saw she was.
Yeah, but I mean, any offensive points is really good at this point.
Anything is good. Oh, as they turn it back over. A little over 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Into Myers. Back to Na. Drive. Keep driving. Oh, yep. Nice! 20 seconds left in the first round. Quarter. 15 seconds left. Hawaii looking possibly to make this. Oh, couldn't. Trying to just. No, we're even close. We have a 7-point lead.
Yeah, 7-point lead, 32-25. Hawaii really having a strong answer in that first quarter, really relying on the paint to really get this nice cushion starting into the second quarter.
Second quarter.
Ooh, nice block there. And right now, San Jose trying to get a quick layup, but it's no good there as Kealoha gets the rebound.
Nice ball handling there.
Nice basket there by Waddy as he was able to get down pretty easily. Hawaii just really taking advantage of that size as the Thrust is able to go ahead and get this quick two-pointer.
Sunderman's now on the court. Staying behind that three. Waddy passes off to Waddy. Oh, he drives. Oh. Haggard DeMeyers driving in. Nobody home and gets it. We're back up to a 5-point deficit for the Thrust at home. Norwich to Sunderman.
Yeah. Now the crowd's starting to really get into it as Norwich laying it up and in. And speaking of long-time kahunas, Norwich has pretty much been there for his entire career, being a very reliable bench player for that team.
Yeah, he's been reliable for years. You call him in to do what he does best, and that is just fill out the team in a way that he's always a positive. He's always a positive addition. I don't think he ever brings anything negative to the table. He's just a positive. As we get a foul on Na.
I think one of the big things when it comes to Norwich is just that he brings a lot of attitude on the court. He plays with a lot of ferocity. He has no fear in his heart. He's somebody that is always going to be willing to go up against anybody, no matter the size of the player. And that's something that would thrive on any team.
That's something every team needs. A guy who isn't going to back down. And I think the Kahunas especially need that with the situation that they're in right now. What the team is in right now in the playoff picture, they need that ferocity, that fearlessness, that drive to win at all costs, and that Norwich has. And it's that was a cluster right there. As Kealoha gets fouled on, gets a foul on him. Gakarin misses the first shot. And sinks the second one.
Yeah, and those free throws are going to be very, very important as the game goes on. Not making both of them does hurt a little bit, but of course this is in the middle of the second quarter, so it doesn't hurt too much, but the pressure will continue on.
Yep. And knowing both of these teams are going to lay on that pressure thicker than butter, and that's what you love about these two teams going up against each other. They keep fighting, and they keep they never give up. They never slow down. These two teams don't. They never do when they get together on the court. It's a fight every single time.
Yeah, and what an excellent play after getting that good stop on defense, go for those quick transition points, and they're now having a chance to possibly break it to a double-digit lead again.
Yeah. And they might, as the last Thrust can't get JCK, to Barrett, to JCK, to Sunderman. As the crowd is now in on it. Sunderman, you gotta shoot. There you go. He misses. And out of bounds. Thrust ball.
Yeah, now the Thrust trying to show a lot of defensive effort as they were able to drain the clock over on the other side. So now they have a chance to possibly cut the deficit down even a little bit, trying to stop this bleeding. We'll see if they're able to do it here in this possession.
38 over to Tolsino. Shooting from the 3, can't make it. JCK rebounds over to Barrett, over to Doyle. Nice bounce pass there. That was smooth, and they make it an 11-point game. Finally, Finally a double-digit lead.
Yeah, the Thrust needs to do a better job at trying to protect that paint, because it just seems like a lot of the players are just walking in, as San Jose is able to cut the deficit down back to single digits.
Yeah. They've already walked into your house. What are they going to do, walk onto your paint now? You got to do better. You got to do better. I hope, let's see if the Thrust do, as we get a weird situation there, but it makes it an 11-point game again. I don't know what they were doing on the court, but like it worked.
Just got to see some great passing and great timing for Norwich to be able to get that easy layup there. Really caught the Thrust again sleeping, but they are able to answer back with that basket there from Gekar.
Gekar's had some good stats this season. A 63% EFG. Like he's been doing good. He's been working, but it's just that the other guys have just been, every other team has just been working more. I wouldn't say working more, but just working on a better tune, playing on a higher pitch, and I think that's why the Thrust are still fighting to clinch this division and haven't already clinched it. I think it's just because the other teams have just been on a more of a fever pitch this year. I'm not kicking it out to the Thrust. I'm not saying that as we now have an 8-point game. I'm not saying that the Thrust are or won't win it. I'm just saying that the Thrust need to pick up the pace a little more, and play at that more fever pitch that everybody else has been playing at.
Yeah, right now the Thrust just needs to go ahead and start relying more on the perimeter, because that is what's been working for the Thrust so far, but it's just been a struggle trying to find an open fur in those situations, and they have to kind of just rely on possibly getting some decent mid-rangers or rely on the paint, which is always get plugged up by Hawaii. Meanwhile, on Hawaii's end, they have just been bullying everybody in the paint.
Yeah, they're dominating in the paint today, and this is actually a rare bit of just, I would almost say, just straight trolling from Hawaii. They just walk in and do whatever they want, and genuinely some of the most aggressive play I've ever seen from this team on the court or in commentary. Another miss, and we shorten this lead again. Kahunas are now taking a timeout.
Yeah, the very first timeout of this game. I mean, it took a good while for either of these teams to really get a timeout going, but now that San Jose is finally catching up to them, Hawaii does take the first time out of the game in general, and it's a good timing one too, because San Jose has finally been able to get a rhythm going offensively.
Yep, you gotta break up the rhythm. It's on the coach too. It's a coach game too. The coaches, while they're out there playing basketball, the coaches are playing chess in their head. What are we gonna do? Like, how do I break this guy's concentration as the Hawaii sinks in just a beauty of a 3?
Yeah, that's one way to go ahead and try and quiet things down a little bit. Getting a nice design play, wide open for 3, Doyle was, and that's a good way to keep the distance going, as Tocino's able to rattle it home and answer right back.
Yep. This game is getting hot. These guys, I think you can feel the aggression in the animosity building. Even up here, we can feel it. And it just this place is, as Kote gets a foul, and is also substituted for Dufresne.
Yeah, Kote, I believe that might have been either his second or third foul of the game, so it makes sense for them to try and rest him up for the rest of the half. And Hal, he's no slouch either. Really good center there for the thrust, and he's been a little bit everywhere too. And of course, you get a nice mid-ranger for JCK, as he's perfect so far. Very efficient with the few shots that he's had.
Yep. I guess it's not about 10,000 kicks one time. It's one kick 10,000 times that really does it. And so you gotta know that one shot, and he's got it 3 times today.
And make that fourth as JCK gets another basket.
Yep. Speaking of the devil, Dufresne, slow and steady, but he's doing it. Yeah, on the frost. To Vela.
Vela going right over Tate with that possession. Really excellent shot there. And Vela really just kind of showing his strength and perseverance on that possession.
And Vela this season with almost 18 points per game average. Both sides have been killing it this year. Everybody on the thrust have been pretty much killing it this year, but it's almost unfortunate that they're in the position in which they have to fight they have to claw, bite, and fight their way into the division clinch. I don't know, in any other year probably they would be an easy number one slot in their division. It's just this year's been a hellraiser of a year, and everybody's been playing like their lives depend on it, and that's what we love out of the FBA. That's why people tune in. So I'm not. Ooh, what a steal!
Showed over there by Frost, and now they have a chance to tie this game up.
That was nasty. On the Parker's shooting in the Frost, who's in the paint, still in the paint. Okay, Parker's for 3, gets.
And with that,
Thrust have a lead.
Yeah, that's the first lead for the Thrust in this game, and now the crowd is completely into it right now. We'll see how the Kahunas finally respond, as this playoff atmosphere is now starting to become very real.
Yes. But they're right back in it, taking that lead, snatching that lead away, like a just a string. Pull that thing back, but who knows? This is a tug of war now. Couldn't make it. We're on 35 seconds left in this half. That was a bit vicious. That was a bit yeah.
Yeah, and so far, both teams really just starting to pick things up, especially for the Thrust in this quarter. They'll get a quick foul there, and then that'll be Frost's first personal with the blocking foul. And we do see majority of the bench emptying out for both sides, as we're closing down with the final 15 seconds left of the game.
Yep. Or of the half.
Oh yeah, of the half, excuse me.
You're good. 10, 8 seconds. 5 seconds left now. We're counting down. No. That ain't. Nope. Yep. Half is over.
Yet the first half is now in the books, as Hawaii is now only up by 161 to 60 in this game. And I gotta tell you, when it comes to how this game has fared, And as we see a crazy stat with 75% field goal percentage for the Kahunas, but that's mainly because of the fact that they have been dominant in the paint so far.
Yep, they just walk into the paint and just do whatever they want. It's as if the thrust like 6 for 9 on Telsino's field goal, 2 for 3 on Tavela, 3 for 5 with Kote, 4 for 6. Like they're Gacker with a perfect, but no,
Yeah,
he missed a free throw, but
but
almost perfect.
well,
And
I have to
field goals is
say,
perfect.
well, I have to say that when it comes to the thrust overall in this half, like they have been able to catch up. They've been relying more so on the perimeter scoring and the three ball as expected. They have plenty of players that can shoot from a very long range. Meanwhile, for the Kahunas, they have been mostly focusing on trying to get into your face in the paint with all the drives that they've been doing, especially with the size events that they have with Scooty Barrett, Zach Tate, uh, Namkaki as well. And it's just like a lot of size that's really becoming to take advantage of. So it's really becoming perimeter versus paint when it comes to these two styles clashing.
Yeah, but we see JCK, Tate, Barrett, all three with perfect field goal percentages today in this half, in the first half. Namkaki also with a perfect field goal percentage. Like these guys, they Norwich the fourth, Norwich with a perfect. They just walk in and do whatever they want. If the Thrust want to win this, they need they need to they need to get more security in the paint, lock up the paint, lock up the house, stop them from just walking in and taking whatever they want. This the Thrust have had this problem quite a bit this season. Frankly, the
Well,
Kahunas kind of have too. But as we start this third quarter in this second half, they need to lock up the paint.
Well, I will say that the Thrust has the momentum on their side. As I say
And
that they do take the lead
they do
with
take the
that
lead
basket.
immediately.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where it's like you got to continue putting the offensive pressure because if this has to be a shootout, we're gonna have to go there.
Yep.
But of course, it's gonna depend on how they handle the size disadvantage on the Thrust end as Barrett's able to get the quick layup.
Real nice from Barrett in that point. But yeah, it's gonna be about if you want this to be if you want to stand and bang, then stand and bang as the Thrust take a 2-point lead. Now they're starting to stand and bang. This is what they need. You're either gonna have a defensive fight or you're gonna stand and bang. What are you gonna do? You can't do both. You gotta do one. What do you want to do? Are you
I mean,
gonna?
at this point, it's really just trying to see who's going to slow down. As Tate with a rare miss. Usually he makes those with ease, especially with that size advantage that he had for that possession.
Yeah, he might be getting frazzled. I hope not. But he might be getting frazzled. Tate to JCK, to Sawyer, to Doyle. Stolen or blocked by Tavela. I had a bad camera angle there, so yeah, this is it's a Gacker. That's a shooting foul on Tate for Gacker might go to the line.
Yeah, he's definitely going to the line for one more with being able to get fouled on that ferocious dunk. And now all the momentum is now going on the Thrust. We'll see if they can extend this to a 5-point lead if they're able to get the old school 3-point play.
Old school 3-point play in motion. This is Manny. Will he? He does it. Okay. To Sawyer. Going in the paint, taking 2 points. Now, it's cut down to a 2-point lead for the Thrust at home. This is. Okay. Um, that was a miss. Oh, driving. Oh, foul.
Yeah, and that will be on Tolsino for that one, as Hawaii is able to tie things right back up 6-7 apiece, really trying to get the momentum back on their end as they try to take the lead here for Doyle.
They're working on it. They
He
get
will
it.
do that.
Gacker with the ball now. On to McMillan, to Tavela. Okay. Back to Tavela. To McMillan, who's behind the... no, he's not. Oh! Nice dunk there. Assisted dunk. As they take the lead.
Yeah, good alley-oop dunk over there on the thrust as they get the lead once again. And right now, both teams are just, going tit for tat so far offensively.
Ooh.
And we got a good stop there for the thrust.
See, this is what this game needed to become. Ooh. Thus, like that, this game needed to be a stand and bang. We finally got it. Thank you. Thank you to both teams for finally just saying, you know what? This whole defense thing's a bit nuts. Let's just stand and fight.
Yeah, both teams really going tooth and tail so far, especially getting those open lanes in the paint. And now Sawyer getting blocked there.
Ooh, yep. That was almost a shot clock. Zavela driving in. Does it? Oh! Gacker makes it.
Yeah, and those second chance opportunities really starting to show so far. San Jose taking advantage of them real quick as they now extend the lead up to 5 once again.
The crowd is in on it. Barrett now has the ball. Over to JCK. Behind the 3. Make it. He makes it. All right.
Yeah, JCK able to get that 3, but the thrust, that stat line can tell you all you need to know when it comes to the thrust. They have been relying on the perimeter with making more 3-pointers, and we got a quick block there.
What a block.
Tate.
That was
literally just going ham on that block.
That was a violent block.
Timeout. Start it.
And right now the thrust gets to call a timeout real quick as they get to see both substitutions in for both sides.
Tavela is being subbed out. You might just want to cool him down, take him off. We know what happens when Tavela gets too heated up. That'll end up on Twitter in about 5. That'll end up on Twitter in about 5 minutes. McMillan to Wyatt. To Tolsino. Can we shoot, please? Thank you. Okay.
Now, we also got to remember that the last time the second unit was up, the Kahunas have really kind of been winning that battle between the 2 second units. So we'll see if the second unit for the thrust can bounce back from this.
Yeah, the thrust may have a great front line, but their secondary has been the Kahunas have seemed to have the deeper roster in this game, and we'll just have to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and of course the Kahunas are able to tie things up 73 apiece so far.
Cote's always right on the perimeter.
Ooh.
What? Doyle to Sunderman. To Doyle for 3. Does not make it. It gets blocked away. Doyle has been shooting pretty hot today. That stat line will tell you what you need to know. As Barrett now to Doyle. Almost lost control there. Ooh. And was blocked out of bounds. It is Kahuna's ball again.
Yeah, but a really good defensive effort there by Gekar. And like I said, that
out.
Yeah, long time thrust and he's been doing whatever he can to be able to contain a lot of big guys on the Kahuna's end in the paint.
Yeah. Goal. Doesn't make it. It's the Thrust have a 2-point lead. Or Kahunas might just tie this up, and they do.
They do just that, indeed. Being able to take advantage of those turnovers, and that is not something you really want to see from the Thrust. Making a lot of mistakes there that does not need to be had.
Yeah, the Thrust have let a small mistake in the beginning snowball into a rather large flaw in their armor. They've gotta seal that up real quick, or they will not keep this head of steam going. It's just gonna flow right out, and it looks like it's about to flow right out. Here's hoping they can prove me wrong.
Right now, they do have an opportunity to get a nice screen as Wyatt goes for three.
In the perimeter,
and it rattles in and out.
Just rattled.
And Hawaii's not able to get that possession going.
Cote to Myers, McMillan to Nah. To Cote again. In the paint. And there's a foul on Sunderman. His first shooting foul. First personal of the game. Cote makes it a 1-point lead for the Thrust.
Yeah, really being able to draw that foul and possibly try and slow things down for Hawaii. Maybe that could be an opportunity for them to get a run if they get a stop here.
They just need, then they don't get a stop. They didn't get a stop at all. They got dunked on.
Yeah, but now both teams really starting to just go fight back and forth in the second half. With 10 total lead changes so far in this game.
Yep. And make that 11.
You gotta say Hawaii now is just trying to look for some possibilities to try and get something going to continue trying to get the lead back and try to stop its back and forth scenario.
You gotta Parker's going. You gotta secure that lead, Nah. Can you? Oh, almost. Kiloho to Collins, moving into rolling house. On the perimeter. Nice shot, Kiloho. Can you make to Collins to Wati drive in, shooting?
Oof. And that was a tough shot there for Wadi. Not usually his range there, but Wadi is able to get it down as the Hawaii is now up by 1 and almost losing the ball there on the Thrust end.
Yeah. Thrust, you got to keep control of that ball. You can't lose that ball, especially on this stage. Oh, doesn't go in.
Yeah, Parker's trying to go for that tough 3. Again, good defense there for Hawaii. And we got another open lane, but it's not going to be good this time as Parker gets the rebound.
Parker's with that. Parker's 2 Nah. Both teams have been working with rebounds all game. Back to Parker's. He makes it. Secures that lead. 1-point lead again. They're having a hard time securing the lead. The lead.
I mean, both teams are just really showing that they can try and fight within the paint and try to get those easy baskets, just depending on the switching and the size advantage.
Yeah. Rolling House does not make it. Myers with the ball now. Nah. He's trying to push people away. Cross down the perimeter to Cote, who does not Make it to Namkaki to Wati.
Yeah, Wati right now has the size difference, but he's gonna have to be careful. And of course, as I say that, the thrusts are able to poke it away and get that turnover.
Yep. To Myers, who's gonna drive it. Does not make it. Bounces right off the rim over to Rolling House. Who's really gonna to Collins.
Yeah. And Myers, unfortunately, not able to get a basket here in the second half, but we get a quick blocking foul by Coty.
Coty, yep. And
So
everybody's getting switched.
yeah, a lot of the starting lineups starting to come in for both sides. As right now, you got to say the Thrusts have done a better job as a second unit to try and keep up with the pace of the Kahuna's bench.
The Thrust have been hurrying up their game. That's something they have definitely been doing. They've been picking up the pace. I have a feeling that in the fourth quarter, this game's going to reach a fever pitch. More of a fever pitch than it already has. We're almost 15. Right? 15 seconds left in this quarter. Ooh, as Collins takes it.
That was a rough pass there for the Thrust.
That wasn't. They didn't really rehearse that one. As they take the lead with 4.5 seconds left to go. 3, 2, 1. Gotta shoot it. Does not make it. Hawaii keeps the lead on.
Yep. So again, the Kahunas up by 1 once again, 83 to 82. And I do have to say this right now, that when it comes to the past few minutes of that third quarter, it just seemed like both teams has gotten on a bit of a cold streak. We only really see like 2 baskets made during that time period.
Yeah, the teams, we can't, I mean, and it seems like they're losing their heat. You can't lose it now. You have to turn it up for the fourth quarter. As we get a 3 for Hawaii. Back to now we're on to a 4-point lead. This is starting to look a bit like the first quarter. Not good for the Thrust. They just lost control of that one, Doug. So Sawyer to JCK, who also loses control. To Parker, to Zayla, to Na.
A great block there on the other end for the Thrust, and let's see if they can be able to take advantage of that.
Zayla in the... Can't make it. And the cold streak somewhat continues. You missed the alley-oop there.
Yeah, just overshot it just a little bit. It's some missed timing there for the Kahunas. And now Na is looking to try to take advantage, but is not able to get the basket down within the paint.
To Sawyer, to JCK, who's in that, right on that edge of the 3-point, over to Collins, who is behind the 3-point line. Staying back there to Sawyer. Sawyer's got to make it. Sawyer has to... block!
What a great block by Joseph Na.
Great block. That was ridiculous. Who shoots? Doesn't make it. Bounces right to Collins. Nice eye there. Almost lost the ball with that dribbling. And does, eventually. Parker's to Na. Back again. Who finally gets one in to make this a 2-point game.
Yeah, things certainly have slowed down for both sides, and we get another timeout there for the Kahunas. And so far, both teams still keeping it close, but it looks like both teams are really kind of struggling on the field in the start of the fourth quarter. But again, that pretty much goes into the tough defensive efforts on both sides as well.
Yeah. This has been a tough game offensively and defensively. When one team goes defensive, the other team goes offensive. When one team goes defensive, the other team goes. There hasn't been a switch. It's been one or the other the whole game. And Sawyer makes it. Cool. Back to a
Yep.
4-point game.
Great setup there coming out of that timeout. And that's really something that the Kahunas have been able to take advantage of. As we get a quick, almost a turnover there. Some good pause there.
Good pause.
And we get a quick block, and
Wyatt
it finally goes down.
Then you can't scare yourself like that. You'll give yourself a heart attack trying to get rid of that.
And right now we get an offensive 3-second violation, holding the ball a little bit too long in the paint for that possession. So that'll be an unforced turnover for Hawaii.
Yeah, that's the one turnover you didn't need. You needed to keep that ball, and that shows why, as this game is now tied.
Yep, it's tied 88 apiece, and Jonas McMillan being able to get by his defender, and Tate slams it down.
Yes. Tate, that was ruthless. Yeah, that was unnecessary. That was Tolsino to McMillan. Who's now,
Well, he is the Zorilla for a reason.
He is the Zorilla for a reason. Yeah, he is a vicious dunker. Tolsino 4-3, can't make it. Barrett had to jump for that one.
Yeah, that arc off that bounce up was pretty wide, so we had to really use his entire length to get that rebound, but he does get it nonetheless. As Sawyer is able to get a 3, but it's no good, and Barrett tries to clean it up, but not able to get it done either.
Oh. McMillan staying. Oh, no, he's in. Oh, he's out. To Tavela, to Tolsino. Tolsino likes the 3-point, likes behind the 3, as is shown there.
Yeah, Tolsino really relying on that pick and pop scenario, giving the Thrust the lead once again, only up by 1.
We're only up by 1. You got to secure it. Can't you? A 1-point lead. I mean, it might win you a game, but it does not win you a lead. And there, and that shows. Now it's a 2-point lead for Hawaii. Wyatt has the ball. They've been very much staying behind that perimeter, and for good reason. Threes are gonna get you the win in this game, and now we're tied.
Yeah, Tolsino, 26 points so far. Very good scoring from Tolsino.
But however, Doyle with 27. So Tolsino, that was not it. Tolsino again, just to Vela, to Wyatt. To Tolsino, he's now cutting in, loses the ball, gets it back to McMillan. Gotta make it here. Oh, doesn't. Sawyer with that ball. Alley-oop to Nah, we get a lead. We finally get a lead.
Yeah, right now Tate with a great slam after some good defensive effort there on the other end for Hawaii. And of course, as I say that, you get a nice little finger roll there for the Thrust.
They have been receding. They've been giving the receipts all day. This has been an offensive.
Whew.
Yep. Offensive, and he stays on there a little longer than maybe necessary, but I'll accept it.
But yeah, Hawaii once again just going back to what they are really good at so far in this game, and just going for the open fur in the paint. Meanwhile, for the Thrust, they have been relying on the perimeter. As I said before during halftime, it's literally a paint versus perimeter game between these two teams.
Yep. The problem is that Thrust stays in the perimeter while the Kahunas just drive right in. And you can't, you gotta be able to do both. And Thrust have just unfortunately been unable to really play both. And neither team has been able to play both. And this has been an interesting matchup. There'll be 5 minutes left in this game. And the foul.
Yeah, it's going to be on JCK for the blocking foul. It won't be a shooting foul, though. But the Thrust will call for a timeout to see if they can drop a play real quick to possibly either tie or perhaps get the 3-point lead.
They need we somebody needs a secure lead again, and once you get that secure lead, it'll probably stay that way. This game, we're so deep in this game. We have less than 5 minutes left
Ooh,
in the contest, and eventually we're going to once somebody secures a lead, it's pretty much over. And yeah, that didn't work.
yeah, Hawaii not able to take advantage and trying to extend the lead after that turnover. Meanwhile, for the thrust, they're going to be able to go for that
Yep.
easy open lane.
And it's tied up with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in this game. This is to Barrett to Doyle. Barrett, I've interviewed Barrett a couple of times. He's been he's an imposing figure. That guy will scare you. He scares me sometimes, but he's a great player. Has been a great player for almost for the better part of a decade. And the Hawaii finally able to secure some form of a lead. 4-point lead for Hawaii.
And they're finally able to take advantage of that possession. We'll see how the thrust responds here as we have Adam probably looking as he gets double teamed here. But
He's getting double team. You can't let that double teaming phase you. You gotta have those blinders. You gotta kind of have the blinders on when you're doing. You gotta just focus on the goal, and he couldn't, and so he couldn't make it.
yeah, but it doesn't really matter too much as there was a miscommunication on the other end to develop. Had an opportunity to try and make something back, and he does do just that.
He does. And Sawyer is matriculating the ball down the court to Tate. Can Tate keep it? Tate also a very imposing figure, in multiple ways, in an interview. And Thrust have a timeout.
Yeah, the thrust needs to find a way to see if they can get some containment, but it seems like they've really not been able to between Barrett and Tate for the entirety of this game. So the thrust really do need to see if they can get a couple of 3 points because that's been one of the most reliable scoring options for them to try and take advantage. Because as much as I do love to see guys duke it out in the paint, threes are better than twos. And of course, they're going to go rely on the two there as they're only down by one possession with that score.
Yeah, and if Hawaii capitalizes, three still won't lead them. That's what I mean by securing a lead. You gotta have it so that you have enough points as a foul hit. You gotta have enough points on your team to where you are safe a bit you're even safe from a three. So you gotta have that security, and neither team has really been able to get it ever since in this half at least. We're down to less than 2 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, 2 minutes left, but there's still plenty of time to see how things go. Both it's way too close to call right now as Gagar not able to get that mid-ranger, trying to go over the defender with that shot, but it's not going to go down, and Sawyer dunks it home.
Sawyer dunks it home. Securing that lead once again. Thrust just hasn't been able to capitalize enough. That's the problem. With a foul on Barrett.
And that's his first personal, so you don't have to worry about Scooty to be in foul trouble at any point, obviously, in this game.
Yeah,
but Myers,
Scooty playing cleaner than usual, as far from what I've seen, or maybe it's just because they haven't been able to pull many fouls on him.
well, yeah, it's just because of the size advantage, really. As Doyle going for three, and he's able to get it down as now up by 5. So yeah, the Thrust really needs to go ahead and get this basket here if they want to get a chance to win this game.
They need this. Well, Hawaii also needs this. So, they can't get it. If Hawaii can capitalize, this could be at least and they can. This is a 7-point game, ladies and members.
Yeah, this game looks like it's just about done here with that basket.
45 seconds
The
left.
Thrust.
The foul on Bear again.
Yeah, Scooty Barry with his second personal, so I mean he can foul all day, every day, as Myers does make the first one, but you can imagine that with this, the Kahunas does call a timeout to make sure that they can get the right draw up, because one more basket could seal the deal, especially if they drain the clock.
Yep, you got to drain that clock as much as you can at this point, and you got to secure that shot, drain the clock, make this at least a 7-point game, and you rest assured, this game's over. Can they capitalize? Drain that clock, but still, will they? Yep, 7-point lead.
Yep, with that, they are up by 3 possessions, and that's probably all she wrote, especially if they're not able to make this basket. And
they
Myers does get the 2-point play, so it's still somewhat of a game here.
Kahunas makes their last timeout. This is still a game.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to foul quickly, or at least try to get a turnover on the initial pass in. But it's very difficult to do in that situation. But of course, they give it to Doyle, and we get the quick foul there. So we will see Doyle. Well, they did a foul to give, so they're gonna try it again, and Doyle will get fouled again. So Doyle will go on the line for 2.
Both teams now have the bonus, so any foul will lead the points.
Yep, and with that basket, that pretty much just seals the deal.
Yeah, this
for Hawaii to get this win, as we get another timeout for the Thrust
already. Maybe too soon for that last timeout, but
well, there's only 21 seconds left of the game, so they just pretty much need all the time that they can get to make some kind of play. But I think this is going to be an opportunity to, say that, good game, guys. We're going to probably get a majority of the players to come out, which seems to be the case here, as we do see a lot of the crowd emptying out.
Yeah, this crowd's already going home. The crowd's trying to beat the traffic. But
and Parker's going for one final shot here, and it's not going to go down, but Dufresne gets the rebound.
The rebound, still doesn't make it, as they can just toss this one away. Yep.
And with that, Hawaii season is still alive.
Hawaii season is still alive, and the Thrust season is also still alive, even with that. This game is tough to judge. This game was tough to measure. It was brutally offensive and defensive on both sides.
I would say this. When it comes to, it was definitely a clash of 2 styles here, especially with the size difference on Hawaii, really taking advantage of that. And I think really the big thing is just the overall experience between these 2 teams. Well, yes, the Thrust do have some players that have had playoff experience, like Adam Tavella or Jonas McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
But Hawaii, they live in these kind of situations, and considering where they are at in this season, they need every win that they can get, and this was certainly a win that they certainly need to be able to possibly get a spot in the playoffs.
And Doyle, an absolute player of the game, 36 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, 14 for 25, 3 to 4 behind the 3 line. Just what a performance from him.
Yeah, Warren Doyle really turning it up there for the Kahunas. And you got to say that being able to get those wide open drives into the paint really has been kind of the big answer here.
Yep.
And while the Kahunas are still trying to fight for their season, I think that the big thing for the Thrust, when it comes to learning from this game, is to try to do whatever you can to to fight a little bit hard into the paint, because it's good to be a good perimeter shooting team, because the good you are at that, the better of a chance that you have of winning the game, because more points equals a better chance of winning.
Yep.
But in this case, it just really comes to show that a lot of um it was a pretty much a bully mentality for the Kahunas to be able to get that many baskets in the paint.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? Yeah. Kahunas just blow it away. Yeah. 63% to a 51% field goal percentage there. That's a bit of that was a fight. Both teams were fighting. Both teams were duking it out in the paint and on the perimeter. But it's just you couldn't you they there was it was a either a double offensive or a double defensive. There was never really the styles kind of clashed a bit too much, I think, and that's what led to the both teams getting frazzled, leading to the will they won't they in the third and early fourth quarters. But eventually it would lead out with the Kahuna securing the lead and the victory and the staying into the playoff picture for their season.
Yeah, I mean, like at this point, every game is a playoff game for the Kahunas from here on out, and and them getting this win here certainly put them at odds to go ahead and see if they can make it to the playoffs once again. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, if they don't make it to the playoffs, what do you think the future would be here for the Kahunas? Considering the fact that they have a lot of players that are getting up there in their careers.
I think the only thing you can do is move them onto the bench and put those guys Namkaki, Norwich, Collins, Sunderman, maybe Doyle and Rollinghouse up the ladder and move them back. Let them be more of the teachers than the maybe let them be more the teachers than the doers. Now, Scooney Barrett is how old? Let me check. Um, Scooney Barrett's up there, and yes, Scooney Barrett's 31. He's a bit old. Tate's up there too. JCK's up there. Kealoha is a bit up there. The whole team is up there.
Yeah,
So the whole starting line is up there, and so I think you got to pull them. You might have to pull them back.
well,
And
I would have to say that a lot of the teams, a lot of the players on this team have been playing for a good while. I think the only players I would say that have that only has been here for probably a couple of years would have to be Kenneth McField, and I believe um Carlos Andreas. So like a lot of these players on the Kahunas have been in the league for probably around 5 years or more.
yeah,
But
it's an older. Yeah.
even with that, the experience definitely came into play today,
Mm-hmm.
and I certainly think that even though the Kahunas are in the situation that they're in, always be careful with them, even if they're not in playoff contention. Depending on how things go in the near future, they are still a team that you have to be careful with if you're trying to get a good seeding here in the playoffs, because as they have shown in San Jose, they can go ahead and take one from you if you're not careful.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll just snatch it right away from you. Um. Well, it has been a pleasure commentating with you, Marcus. It's been amazing being up here. I'm gonna go try to wheel down there and get myself some interviews with those guys. I really want to get an interview with I really want to get an interview with Scooney. Uh, love the guy to death. I'll see you
Yeah.
around, man.
All
Um,
right. It's
and
been fun.
it's been a lot of fun. I'll see you around. Good night, everybody. Take care, everybody.